Hi guys, today I'm showing you how to craft the Righteous Fire scepters. A lot of people have been asking me to make this video. This is how the scepter will look like when they're done. You want to start by getting a level 78 to 84 base. I recommend level 78 because the fire damage over time multiplier, the highest level required to roll this mod is 78, and all the other mods are pretty low level, like +1 is level 2, +1 to all spells is level 55. So I think level 78 is optimal for this, but anything even 84 is fine. You want to start by using a base, which is either Oscillating Scepter if you're taking Elemental Overload in your tree and you want to save 1 point, or you can go with Opal Scepter or Void Scepter if you want the good implicit elemental damage. The first step of this craft is going to be to fossil craft until you hit +1 to all spell skill gems. How you do this is that you spam Corroded, Metallic, and Shattering on a 3-socket resonator, and it's a 1 in 11 chance of hitting this. Or you can use a 4-socket resonator, and it's a 1 in 4 chance if you add Corroded to the craft. The average cost of this is around 200 chaos, as you can see, and you're gonna need to craft 3 to 5 of these bases on average, depending on which fracture you want to use, either fracture 3 or fracture 5. Once you hit the +1 to all spell skill gems with fossils, you're gonna have to fill up your prefixes, and how you do this is that you can, if you have 2 prefixes open, you can use a Pharik Wolf Alpha from Bestiary, and you can do a suffix to prefix to fill up one, and then you can fill the other with the benchcraft. After you filled up your prefixes, you're gonna need to fracture either 3 prefixes or fracture 5. Depending on the market price, you can check on TFT the prices of these crafts. It's either gonna be better to make 3 bases and fracture the prefixes 3 times, or making 5 bases and fracturing any mod in 1 out of 5 chance 5 times. Make sure if you do the fracture 5 that your item only has 5 mods instead of 6, so annul 1 mod or remove it in some way. But yeah, once you fractured your +1 to all spell skill gems, you're gonna have to Scorch Fossil spam for at least 1 good mod, which is either fire damage to all spell skill gems or fire damage over time multiplier T2 or above. If this is pretty common to it, it's gonna take you like, I don't know, maximum 20-30 fossils. It's not that hard to make. Once you hit the good mod that you want, which is either +1 to all fire spell skill gems or fire damage over time multiplier, you want to free up 1 prefix. In this case, we have a really bad prefix, which is like tier 8 fire damage. So we do prefix to suffix. If you have a 6 mod item, you are gonna have to annul once. If you remove the bad mod, you're good. You can go to the next step. If you remove the good mod, you're gonna have to start over, and if you remove a suffix, you're gonna have to do prefix to suffix. So that, for example, here we annul once, we remove a suffix, and then we do prefix to suffix, and we remove with a 50-50 chance of removing the bad mod. Once you have 1 prefix open and your suffixes, you want to make your suffixes full. How you do this, instead of crafting a prefix and slamming like you would do in other crafts, instead you can just craft an aspect and do aspect of the Avian, for example, which is the cheapest. And this makes sure that since our suffixes are full and we only have 1 prefix open, if we unveil now, the only mod that can be unveiled is a prefix. So we are gonna ahead and unveil a prefix. If we unveil a bad mod, like in this case, we're gonna have to annul. And if we remove a suffix, we can do another save of 50-50 prefix to suffix like we did before. If you remove the bad mod, you can unveil again. And if you remove the good mod, you're gonna have to start over and fossil spam with Scorched again. So in this case, you want to annul once first and then prefix to suffix if you hit a suffix. You don't want to spam annuls because we still want our suffixes to be full, so we can unveil again after the craft. So we do 1 annul, 1 prefix to suffix, so the amount of mods on the item stays 5, and we can unveil the 6th one. So we only remove 1 mod from the item, and then we force 1 prefix to a suffix. So our total amount of mods is still 5, and 3 are the suffixes, so 1 prefix is open. and we can unveil over and over, and we can keep saving it in this way pretty much. whenever you hit your unveil that you want, you either want fire damage over time multiplier or you want increased fire damage. I recommend going for fire damage over time multiplier if you can. But yeah, once you're done with your prefixes, we want to craft the suffixes. And what we do now is we want to free up one suffix, and how we do this is reinforce keep prefixes. This will reinforce the item, only the suffix part. The prefixes will stay the same, and we can keep doing this until we have one suffix open so that we can craft prefixes cannot be changed. And then once we have prefixes cannot be changed, we can force a second veiled mod. Usually you wouldn't be able to craft multiple veiled mods on items, but if you craft metacraft, you can actually do this. And for example, we have a veiled fire damage over time multiplier, and since we use the veiled chaos orb, we have another veiled suffix. And if you hit a bad mod, you can always go in your bench and craft prefix cannot be changed and veiled chaos orb again. Like in this case, prefix cannot be changed, veiled chaos orb, and we will get rid of the chance to deal double damage. And we want to keep going until we trigger socket spell when you use a skill with a 4-second cooldown. This has a 1 in 3 chance of happening, so on average it's gonna take you 6 exalts for this step. How you finish the suffix after you get the trigger is you want to block fire resist, because it's a really common fire mod. And then since your scepter is not influenced, we can actually augment fire, and augment fire is a pretty high chance of hitting a good mod that is useful for righteous fire, like burning damage or fire damage. And once you do the augment fire, if you get something really bad and you want to start over, you can always go back to this step and redo the suffixes. You're not locked into them, and you can keep going until you hit like a really good suffix, like burning damage 30% or whatever you really want. You can, if you're really rich, you can even try to go for damage over time multiplier suffix, just spamming veiled chaos orbs for 2 exalts each try. But this is like pretty safe and is not crazy expensive to make. And once you hit the second suffix that you want, you're gonna go ahead and craft the last one, which is usually damage per endurance charge, or you can craft fire damage or whatever you want. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.